time when Mike Brown and all that happened, I stayed literally right there. Took those 2 blocks, made a left, and went straight down to West Florissant, so where everything happened.
After Michael Brown was killed by Ferguson police in 2014, a new civil rights movement ignited. But Tori Russell says the people around here are still struggling.
If you can imagine an apple tree in the middle of the hood, used to be a lot of trees, tires, kids swinging, picnics, bonfires, all of that. Resources left after Ferguson. We went from being able to feed people and do all these things in our community to we resource deprived. Can't get in, can't ask nobody for money, can't go to the foundations.
So this all happened after the uprising?
It seemed like it was a embargo, a blockade on Ferguson when it came to resources in the movement.
So where should those resources come from, or why has it been so hard to get them?
Honestly, I feel like BLM, Black Lives Matter, is taking all that up out of us.
After Ferguson, the Black Lives Matter movement went national. And after George Floyd died, it became a global rallying cry. In the face of the movement, Black Lives Matter Global Network became a registered nonprofit with a foundation, a political action committee, and $90 million in donations.
Black Lives Matter has transformed into this mainstream, kind of commodified movement. What has that been like, kind of watching that take off?
It's different to see a movement that we helped create be hijacked and co-opted. And like you said, sold to the masses, really to edify white people, right? So I feel like now they got some nicer chance, some things that Starbucks and Google can invest in. But does it mean we get freer?
Russell, now a prominent activist, says that since BLM Global Network took off, it's overshadowed grassroots groups like his and made it nearly impossible to raise money for a community that is still very much in need. He joined Brown's father, Mike Sr., to voice their frustrations.
The movement that is catapulted into the limelight has forgotten about Ferguson and the freedom fighters. We're asking that Black Lives Matter leadership funds $20 million to Ferguson organizers, organizations, and community foundations to do the work. We're not begging for a handout. We're coming for what we deserve.
Corporations and well-meaning people have been shelling out millions to help end racism. Meanwhile, people within the movement are fighting for its future. They want to know where all this money's going and who should be in charge of it. Is it powerhouse groups like the Global Network? Famous activists?
My people, it's time we stand. It's time we demand the freedom that this land promises.
The families who've lost loved ones at the hands of police? Or local organizers?
I never would have thought meeting black people in the streets, screaming for change and justice and freedom, that would be the people that sell us out. I thought white folk would do that.
Unfortunately, there are communities all around the country that also suffer police violence, so why should Black Lives Matter focus on Ferguson or Louisville or one community?
BLM is not doing the organizing in the streets. They're not organizing the protests. They may organize the hashtags, but they're not showing up to the mayor's house like we are. And so who is BLM?
What do you think about the idea of celebrity activism?
I guess in a movement, visibility can be called whatever. So, I'm standing in front of y'all with cameras. I've been on the New York Times. I've been on CNN probably more times than most people can count. Am I a celebrity activist? But how are the people that's actually doing the work supposed to survive? You can say you don't want the cameras until you get killed somewhere and no one cares about your child until the cameras show up. Yeah, it's a slippery slope, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
I had to do a press conference, and what I told that chief, I told him, dude, if my son pointed a gun at any one of y'all, show me, I stand down right now. When they called me to that office, my son was running. That man slipped and fell, and he was mad and killed my baby. Shot my baby in the back.
No accident.
15 years old. How?
Every person here is mourning a family member killed by police. Lisa Simpson lost her son, Richard Risher, in 2016, and she organized this weekend in honor of the 5th anniversary of his death.
Do you guys consider yourselves activists now?
No, I mean,
We impacted families.
We impacted
Everybody
families.
lost somebody.
Exactly. Yeah, we impacted
We just
families.
fighting
We
for
know
our
activists.
lives and for the lives.
In the days after Risher's death, Simpson started protesting the LAPD alongside the Black Lives Matter Los Angeles chapter. Eventually, she stopped working with the group after a dispute over a fundraiser and a disagreement over how to fight for justice.
I march with them, protest with them. I'm thinking, oh, we got an entity now that's gonna really help us. And because of the way with my attributes I brought to the table, because it's my son, and I'm gonna fight how I wanna fight, I don't care what nobody say, I was a problem.
In March, Simpson and Samaria Rice, the mother of Tamir Rice, who was killed by police in 2014, put out a joint statement. They demanded that high-profile activists, including BLM leaders, stop monopolizing and capitalizing our fight for justice and human rights.
What do you want from Black Lives Matter at this point?
I want them to pack up all their bags and buy one of them big-ass limos they be going partying in and shit, and make sure they pick up every member that they know globally and ride y'all ass out into the sunset. I'm trying to bring awareness to the masses of the people because this is an epidemic and it's a problem, not just in Los Angeles, but globally. And I don't want you to have to go through what I'm going through.
We are fed up with the disorganization. Who leading us? Who leading us? So today, let's go, Sergeant. Let's go, Sergeant. Let's go, Sergeant. You got this. You got this. You got a program. You got a program and we here to represent. Say it again.
I love y'all Black. I've been trying to figure out what my purpose is in this fight, bro. Battling with myself. Like, damn, am I doing the right thing? Damn, was I a good mama? Damn, how my son get killed? So then when I start meeting all y'all from different places of the world, I'm just like, damn. My assignment in this fight is to bring all us together, bro. We ain't outnumbered. We just unorganized. We can really stop this machine. I just want all my mothers and fathers that's in this fight that have lost their loved one, just do me one favor that's so important for us to be able to grow. Lose your goddamn ego. I am Lisa Simpson, the mother of Richard Risher.
Black Lives Matter Global Network is growing, but this past year, more than 10 chapters broke away, citing a lack of financial transparency and organizational support. They also called on the executive director to step down. She resigned in May, she says, to focus on other projects. Nevertheless, it's hard to overstate the impact that the global network has had. In 2020, it was able to pressure several cities to reallocate a total of $170 million from police funds to community services. And its PAC endorsed 44 winning candidates in ballot measures. And the foundation dispersed nearly $22 million in grants.
It's a first step to say that we have to end qualified immunity, but we also know that there's all of these other things that have to be done, and our opposition, our enemy, and all of it is these police associations. Power to the people. Power to the people. All power to the people. All power to the people.
Dr. Melina Abdullah, one of the women who founded BLM, is proud of what they've been able to accomplish in 8 short years.
There was a time when we said Black Lives Matter, people were saying, oh, you can't say that. You know, why are you saying just Black lives? Now everybody says Black Lives Matter, right? You're known to be a racist if you won't say Black Lives Matter.
Can you describe some of the ways that Black Lives Matter works with families?
We are here to be partners in struggle with family members whose loved ones have been stolen by police violence. We show up with them to court hearings when they ask. We ask them what they want, you know, if they want us to organize vigils, if they want us to organize media, if they want us to amplify names. We do all of that organizing work in partnership with families.
Does Black Lives Matter ever raise money for families or give money directly to families?
So we never, not once, have ever done a fundraiser on behalf of families. What we will do is take their GoFundMe accounts and post them on our social media platforms. But these are their GoFundMe accounts because we want to make sure that the money is never touched by the hands of Black Lives Matter, that it can only be accessed by the families.
When people donate towards Black Lives Matter, do you think it's a misconception that people think it does go directly to families?
So we say straight up, like when you donate to Black Lives Matter, you are donating for the organizing work. You are donating for our advocacy work. You're donating for things like having a sound system, for things like making sure that there's food at meetings. But we're not a social service organization. We are a power building organization.
Nobody could have predicted George Floyd's death. Nobody could have predicted the movement from last year. So do you think that Black Lives Matter was prepared to get $90 million in funds?
Of course we weren't prepared to receive $90 million. Nobody was prepared for Black Lives Matter to become the largest racial and social justice movement in history. But we are grateful that we had a movement that was there to meet the moment. But of course we weren't prepared for how massive the moment would be. Everything isn't for everybody. And so there's gonna be people who say, you know, Black Lives Matter is not for me, and that's fine. However you wanna get down for Black freedom, get down in that way. There's room for all of us in the fight, and the fight needs all of us.